Okay guys, Axis&Allies 1940 using the 1942 setup by Larry Harris. Just finished round one and this is what the board looks like. Just want to give you an overview. Definitely a lot going on, as you can see already. Okay, I'll tell you what happened in the first turn. Well, Russia kicked off the campaign, and this setup, Russia goes first. They took Belarus, Smolensk, Western Ukraine, Baltic states, and Ukraine, all back from Germany and Western Ukraine. So they were successful in all their attacks. And they rolled pretty good. They lost a few units, which is expected, but for the most part, they did pretty good. Ukraine was a close battle. They almost lost that one, but they pulled it out. So Russia's sitting pretty strong, making about 41 IPCs they collected this first turn. So that's Russia. That's what their line looks like. Okay. Second in this 1942 setup by Larry Harris goes Japan. Japan by far did the worst out of any countries. Here's what they did. In Asia, they moved in a little in China. They secured the Burma Road, Yungan. They looked pretty strong there. China was forced to pull back. They did lose Sumatra to the British. And they also lost Java to Anzac. When I said earlier Japan did really bad, they really had a debacle right here in, I guess you want to call it the Hawaiian Sea Zone number 26 battle, where they attacked a U.S. fleet, and Japan had an 80% chance of winning. And basically on the first round, they scored only one hit. One freaking hit. U.S. only lost a sub. So after that complete debacle, they decided to retreat to Wake Island and play defense, I guess. America was able to counterattack and destroy the Japanese fleet. So Japan is pretty thin. What they have left is off New Guinea. They have one carrier battleship. In Japan, they have a sub carrier fighter attack. And they have 2 transports. So they're very thin after freaking one round, and it's not looking very good for Japan. That allowed UK to kind of go on the offense here in Sumatra and also in Anzac for Java. Japan does have a navy here to start the game off. He could have gone west to attack the fleet in India, but instead they used their fighters to knock out the U.S. fleet off Guadalcanal, which they won that battle. The U.S. counterattacked and took their small Japanese naval vessels out, and it was left with a sub, and Anzac took this out with their destroyer. So not the best turn for Japan. Yeah, not pretty at all for Japan. We'll see if they can recover in the beginning of round 2. The U.S. is after Japan in this game. Like I said, they counterattacked the Japanese fleet in Sea Zone 31 off Wake Island, and they pretty much sunk that fleet pretty easy. With the terrible dice roll with Japan on the first round, U.S. has decided to go mainly Pacific. They're just going to try to outproduce Japan in the naval race and force Japan on the defense. So they already have ships there, as you can see, and we'll see what they do next turn. In the European side of the board, they did take Brazil to get those 2 extra points. They built 2 transports, that's about it. This destroyer with some air power took out 2 German subs in Sea Zone 107. That brings us to China. China didn't do much. They lost Yunnan, and they decided to pull back because they weren't strong enough to counterattack. So they have 9 men in a fighter in Swetchgoen. Japan might attack them, but there's a chance that Japan will suffer some casualties if they do attack the Chinese garrison there. Okay, that brings us to Germany. Germany also didn't do very well, and I know too bad, you know, guess you want to say rules for the Japanese and the Germans, I guess. They attacked Baltic states, and they were repelled by 3 Russian units. 1 Russian unit died. Germans lost 3 units. They also tried to take Western Ukraine. They killed the Ruskies there, but the Ruskies rolled hits on their dice rolls, so the Germans weren't able to take that. Basically, they just have East Poland. That's it for now, and Bersabia, which is worth nothing. The main German armies off of Poland, getting ready to penetrate into Russia, and they also have the Southern Army in Romania. This is Germany. Not the best turn either for them either, so we'll see if they can get it together in round 2. Okay, that brings us to UK. Europe didn't do much. They built a factory in Egypt. They tried to attack Tobruk, but they were repelled. Yeah, nothing too spectacular with the UK. They built a carrier here, small fleet. Hopefully they can try to unite with this American Navy vessels and the French cruiser here, some more transports. Built a man here. Yeah, nothing too much for UK, just starting to build up. So we'll see what they do in this side of the European board. In the Pacific, they did take Sumatra because there's no danger. The Japanese fleet is basically almost done. They had some really bad dice, as you know, in round 1. So they took Sumatra, and they took Shan State with 1 guy, and they're just holding a defense line in India, because if they come out to Burma, Japan can counter from Yungan and the Air Force here. So kind of being a pain in the ass, UK, for the Japanese by taking this island. So they collected 14 IPCs this last turn. Okay, that brings us to Italy. Italy was probably the best country for the Axis. At least they did the best. They took Gibraltar. They got the NO there. They secured the Mediterranean. That's another $5 for them. They took Algeria. So yeah, they built a transport there. And they have 3 fighters that can scramble if the Allies try to get frisky. So we'll see what the Italians do. They collected 21 IPCs this last turn, and they moved some units into the Eastern Front to hopefully open up a few can openers for the Germans. We'll see. Anzac had a good turn too. They took Java, $4 extra. Yeah, they wiped out this Japanese sub with a destroyer and a fighter from Queensland and New Zealand. So yeah, you know, kind of a minor power, can't do much with them, but $14, hey, it's not too bad. They want to get that NO next though. That's going to be $5. They need to take New Guinea and Dutch New Guinea, so we'll see what happens there. France, well, not much left for France. They have a destroyer here off South Africa. They have a cruiser off Brazil. They have 1 infantry in Morocco. This guy moved east, and this guy's still in Syria. Got a fighter and 2 men in UK. They're just holding there. So yeah, nothing too much for France. So after 1 round, definitely think the Allies won the first round. Like I said, some terrible dice for Japan, mainly Japan. Losing a lot of Navy vessels already. Carrier, battleship, destroyer, cruiser, airplanes. Really a lot of equipment for Japan. Germany didn't do that great either. They had 2 battles they couldn't even, 2 territories they didn't even take. They should have won both. So definitely the Allies won round 1. I will hopefully continue round 2. Probably not tomorrow because I will be playing Anniversary, and I'll do a video recap, put some video content up for you guys after each round hopefully. So yeah, round 1 definitely goes for the Allies for this one, and I will hopefully continue it soon. Okay, happy 4th of July weekend. Having a good time here. Alright, deuces.